All right, guys, before we address the elephant of the room, before we get very negative, before we start reminiscing on the Steelers' past and what has led us to this point, can we have this moment? Because we all know how it probably maybe is going to end at the end of the season. Our excitement will be no longer. We will be down in the dumps. Our defense will have given up 50 and our offense has scored 7 points. But having Aaron Rodgers on the team, maybe that shit doesn't happen this year. Listen, man, we need to have our moment and we need to be excited out there because Steelers fans, we got Aaron Rodgers, and for a lot of us, this has been something that's been talked about since 2020, and I know we beat us in that Super Bowl, so I'm not sure how many of you guys were Aaron Rodgers fans, you know, back in the day, way back when, back in like 2010, which is like 20 years ago at this point or some shit like that. I know what you're thinking. Maybe you guys hate it. Maybe you hate him. Maybe you're upset at him because of the Packers Super Bowl. Maybe you're upset at him because of, you know, all of the takes that he has. But me, I'm a first take baby. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Stephen A. Shout out to Skip Bayless. I remember the debates about that bad man Aaron Rodgers. And I used to eat shit like that up, man. Like, I used to love those narratives. I used to love ESPN back in the day. And so because of that, because of how positively he was being talked about and how negatively he was being talked about by Skip Bayless, because we all hate Skip Bayless, I just, you know, I kind of grew attached to the guy. I've always liked Aaron Rodgers. I've had a few videos on here where I was upset at him and like I called him mid over like the Packers Super Bowl where they got us. And also just the fact that he's been, you know, playing around with us and like he tore down the Jets. You know, recently I've had some pretty negative takes, but overall, I've always been an Aaron Rodgers guy, right? And I'm not even trying to be like that, you know, that person who like now that he's on the team, I got to like backtrack it. You can look, like I've always been a fan of Aaron Rodgers, you know, no lie. And so having him on the team, having him be a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's Aaron Rodgers, right? I know last year we had Russell Wilson and there was still that hint of like, you know, he won a Super Bowl. Maybe he's pretty good. Maybe he can be pretty good. Maybe he's still there. Maybe we kind of scapegoated Russell Wilson towards the end of the season as well. If he plays okay in New York, I don't know. I mean, they have him, they have Jameis, they have Jackson Dart. If he plays okay in New York, maybe he still has that in the tank. Not too much on Russ. He did his best out there last season, right? But this is even a level above the Russell Wilson signing. This is even a level above the Justin Fields shit because Aaron Rodgers, he's like one of them ones, man. Like, he is a top 5 to top 10 quarterback depending on your ranking. And I know there's a lot of people out there, you guys have watched a lot of football, you know, you can make your rankings and bias definitely plays a part in it. Aaron Rodgers is a top 10 guy to ever throw the football. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he's a top 10 guy to ever throw the football in the NFL's history. And he is literally on the Pittsburgh Steelers now. And the way he finished last year, obviously his best days are behind him. Like, no lie. Why do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers got him? Like, if Aaron Rodgers was really out here hooping, he would have much higher suitors. He would have got a way bigger contract. We would have had way more options. We probably wouldn't have waited it out this long. Like, it would have been way different if Aaron Rodgers wasn't obviously on the decline because, as I mentioned before, he's one of them ones, man. And so to have him be on the Steelers, to have this be a real situation, and we've seen how good he can play in the past. And there's the one example, but man, Tom Brady, he's not Tom Brady, but Tom Brady played pretty well in the right situation in Tampa Bay when the pieces were there. We look at this team, and you know, I started, because I do this, I watch my videos sometimes. I used to really not, but sometimes I'll go back and try to like get points from one video, get points from another video, like, oh, I did really good talking at this point. I did, you know, maybe I should be more concise at another point, right? So like, I'll go back and watch my videos, and I don't think you can just call it worse today, because if you look at it, another person who showed up to camp today, and I will definitely have some clips of him up here in a second, another person who showed up to camp today was DK Metcalf. And so you take away George Pickens, you add DK Metcalf, it's like everybody on the world would say DK Metcalf is better than George Pickens. It's only biased Steelers fans who are really trying to punch up for George. Maybe there's some potential factor in there. Maybe you'll get like 1 out of every 20 random NFL fans who like think that. But for the most part, everybody is saying that DK Metcalf is a better number 1 receiver than George Pickens at this current point, right? And so we make that move happen. We lose George, but we gain DK Metcalf. Virtually the same wide receiver room past that. Like, are you going to sit here and say we don't have Mike Williams anymore? Which, you know, I think we should have thrown the ball to Mike Williams way more than we did. Low-key, I don't even know why we signed him. But, like, to me, you can't look at the wide receiver room and just, you know, say it's way worse than it was last year. Like, that's impossible, right? And like I said, the running game, Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris at one point were able to kind of do their things. They were getting the first down. Najee had a long touchdown. Jaylen Warren was dealing with injury. Cordero Patterson even came in and did his thing a little bit. Like our running game, we lose Najee and Cordero, but we gain Caleb Johnson and Kenneth Gainwell. Low key, you can make an argument we got better in the running back department. The offensive line, we got healthier. And we're assuming players like Zach Frazier, players like Troy Fautanu, players like Broderick Jones in their new positions. Broderick obviously going back to the left tackle. Troy Fautanu, obviously a first-round pick who's coming back from injury. And Zach Frazier, a second-round pick who's like already... streets are saying Zach Frazier is a top center in the NFL. I swear to God, it is not just Steelers fans. Like ESPN's putting out these lists, PFF, all these like random sports websites are talking about centers in the NFL. And Zach Frazier, he is up there, right? And so they're only hopefully going to improve. If you're not being biased, if you're not being negative, you would think all three of these players are going to get better this season, right? And we still have Samalu and Mason McCormick, another player who's probably going to get better this season. Like our line should be better. The schematics of it, the coachings of it, I've made my gripes about it. I have called coaches out by name. Like I'm a bit over our schematics of it all. I wish we would, get a new offensive line coach. So we will see how it actually all plays out. And then you look at the defense. TJ Watt, I'm assuming we're still going to have him. I'll talk about him in a little bit. You look at the defense. These guys give up 65 points a game in the playoffs. But if the offense could just show up, maybe the defense doesn't give up that much points. Like we can keep blaming the defense. We've been doing it for 10 years, we've been doing it since the Killer Bees. We've been blaming the defense, right? But at some point, our offense is going to also have to show up in a playoff game and not when we're already down 21 points. There's no excuse for the Browns loss. There's no excuse for like the Jags loss. There's no excuse for how we started against the Ravens and whatnot. But at the same time, it's not like we were coming out there scoring a touchdown first drive. It's not like we were going out there, hooping. Like we were able to, go down in these games. And so I mentioned the offense getting better, and then the defense just one time, like you would think the highest paid defense, you would think a defense led by TJ and Cam Hayward, like you would think that defense would play better, right? And so more times out of not, I know the statistics don't show it, but more times out of not, this defense should play better in the playoffs, right? And so you take having a legendary top 10, top 5 quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who to me can still play like a top 10 quarterback in this league today. Maybe I'm like bugging, maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm being biased because it's Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, he's always on the decline, or he's like only on the decline. But he may be able to like play like a top 10 quarterback this year. And so just to be this negative about the Steelers, just to hate the Steelers, to me, it has really one scapegoat on it. It has not even a scapegoat, but just like one main reason why people aren't really feeling this team right now. We're sick of Mike Tomlin, man. Like we are over the playoff loss. We think he should get fired. I've made so many videos talking about, how Mike Tomlin is... he's the most slandered coach I've ever seen, low key. Like he is for how good he is. He just, will have this until he gets another playoff win. Now, is it unearned? Is it like, unheard of that people are this upset at Mike Tomlin? No, because I get upset at the guy too. But the magnitude of it, the scapegoat he is, the figure that he is, the guy that he is the number one reason why nobody thinks that this shit is gonna work. And so, it's worked out in the past. These Bill Cowher fans too say he built his team and like that's why he won a Super Bowl. That's a dumb argument because, we went to the Super Bowl, we won it. Bill Cowher had a losing season the year prior. We were very winning. Okay, Bill Cowher built the team like you guys say, but it's not like he was just like hooping to even the standard. The standard is the standard. He was not hooping to the levels of Mike Tomlin because Son refuses to lose more than 8 games. He refuses to leave a season with less than 8 wins. And so Bill Cowher was not hooping like Mike Tomlin. He has his other things. Bill Cowher was also a really good coach, but it's like two things can be true. Both of them can be good. And so really, I'm spending too much time on this. I am not here to really argue the negative people. I am not here to really, do this right now. Like I don't need to defend Mike Tomlin, right? But what I will say is I understand why some people are so negative, and I'll probably be there with you at the end of this season. But let us have this moment, man. And so with all that said, look at Aaron Rodgers walking onto the fucking field, man. In that black and gold. In that number 8. Kenny Pickett, who? We got Aaron fucking Rodgers, man. Look at the guy's calves. I don't know if you guys see it. Look at the guy's calves right now, too. This is a guy who is ready to sling it. This is a guy who is ready to lead this team to at least a playoff win. If we can get a playoff win, that would be tremendous for us because we're Steelers fans. We're selfish. If it was the Steelers, how we did in Aaron Rodgers' legacy, I promise I would bury Aaron Rodgers' legacy all I wanted because we really only need a playoff win to feel like we had a progressive season. We just need to not have our last game be a complete fucking blowout. If we can leave the season doing that, it's all cool. Aaron Rodgers, he needs to win a fucking Super Bowl, honestly. That is the only thing Aaron Rodgers can do that will, like, super progress his, overall standings as a top 10 literal quarterback in NFL history. That is the only thing that matters to him. And so we both have high expectations of winning. And you see the guy walking out on the field. It's just crazy, man. Next up, though, I do want to get this interview in, too, because I said all that about Mike Tomlin. But here was what Aaron Rodgers had to say about Mike Tomlin and the Steelers.
I think it starts with Mike Tomlin.
I really hope this doesn't get clapped.
I mean, I've been a fan of I think it starts with Mike Tomlin.
It starts with Mike.
I've been a fan of his for a long time. There's a few iconic franchises in the NFL. I played for one of them for 18 years. This is another one.
It's another one.
There's something special about, obviously, this area. So many great quarterbacks are from Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh has been a part of my career from
Loving
the
the city.
Playing for Mike McCarthy for 13
Mike
years.
McCarthy.
Having Tommy Clements, depending on how old you are, as my quarterback coach forever. Dom Capers. Kevin Green, Darren Berry.
Eric Berry.
Ben McAdoo. Frank Signetti. Luke Getsy. I don't want to forget anybody, but
you were not going to forget anybody. Aaron Rodgers, you had like 100 names ready to go. But he is saying it starts with Mike Tomlin. One of the best players to ever play the game, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, wants to play for Mike Tomlin. So many players want to play for Mike Tomlin. And to me, that is just, what do I want to say, aura? That is just pull that some of these coaches don't be having, bruh. And that is a real, we can talk about, these trick plays, these high-powered offenses, these like 2025 NFL play calls, man. If you guys can talk about that, we can talk about how Mike Tomlin is highly regarded and widely liked and why that is like a factor. If Mike Tomlin was on a team whose ownership really wanted to be spending money, let's talk about it. If Mike Tomlin was on a team whose ownership would really want to be spending money, we would have all these players, man. We would have all of these players because it's neither here nor there. Once again, this isn't a Mike Tomlin defense video. This is an Aaron Rodgers hype video. Next up, though, look at, I mentioned the Cavs, right? Like I told you guys about the Cavs. Look at Aaron Rodgers, right, in this drill right now. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Look at the mobility. Look at the footwork. Look at the athleticism. Look at the helmet. Look at the number. Look at the shorts. Like, look at the throw off the sidearm, off the back foot, and he's got the Adidas cleats with Nike socks. He don't even care. He don't even care about his appearance because he is here to throw footballs. He is here to win games. He is here to improve on his legacy. And low-key, that helmet looks big as fuck on his head, but maybe it's because he doesn't have shoulder pads. But this is what no chin strap. We're just throwing. No one's going to touch me. You know why no one's going to touch me? Because I'm Aaron fucking Rodgers. And we got Aaron fucking Rodgers practicing on a field, and you see the Pitt Panthers in the background. Hail to Pitt. Shout out to Pitt. 2021 ACC champions. Kenny Pickett wore the number 8 for the Steelers. I'm still hype about that. I know you guys hate Kenny Pickett, but guess what? I got to watch Kenny Pickett fucking come out of nowhere, win a national championship, and then get drafted to the Steelers, which potentially set us back a while. But now we're sitting here with Aaron Rodgers, so it's like, fuck it. Who cares we drafted Kenny Pickett at one point? We got Aaron Rodgers on the team still. What better could we have gotten with the Kenny Pickett pick? Anyway, though, so you see Aaron Rodgers. I've hyped it up enough. You see his mobility. You see how he's moving. And now let's look at some throws right here. No. I want to get a throw. I want to get a look at the take real quick. Because Andrew Filippone, obviously a very polarizing guy, obviously a really polarizing figure in the Steelers media. He had to say, you could make the case that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback to ever put on a Steelers uniform. Surreal to see him in the black and gold. Now, Yinzers, Big Ben fans, Terry Bradshaw fans, whatever you guys are about to comment, just, I feel you. Maybe not, but like low-key, Aaron Rodgers has been so good in his career that he can be in this talk. He can literally be compared to Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger. These young guys like Mahomes and Lamar and Josh Allen and maybe even Joe Burrow and shit like that. Maybe at one point they're going to be looked at as like better than Terry or Big Ben or some shit. But like off a proven legacy today, off a if I retire tomorrow, I am, up here. Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback in this league that can do that, right? And maybe Mahomes. Okay, maybe Mahomes. So this is what I'm saying with the level of it. Like, it's even higher than getting a Russell Wilson who, like, maybe can play good. Like, fam, Aaron Rodgers has been one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the fucking game. and we don't have a quarterback. Like, it's just like, why not sign Aaron Rodgers, man? Like, to me, it just makes little to no sense. Like, everybody is hanging on to the negatives of the past of the Steelers and just attaching that to the like what's gonna happen this season. This was a good move. We needed a quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers was available for only $10 million. Why the fuck not? And we had what pick did we have? We had the 20th pick, and nobody took a quarterback until the 19th round of this draft. So what were we supposed to do? Kirk Cousins? Were we supposed to go out and get, who else was it called? Sam Darnold, maybe? We were supposed to give Sam Darnold $300 million. Like, that's the better move. Or getting Aaron Rodgers for one season while we, figure some shit out a little bit. That's what we were supposed to do. That's nonsense. Aaron Rodgers was the smart move, and once again, I am glad to see him in the black and gold. And once again, another guy I'm glad to see in the black and gold is our guy, DK Metcalf, man. Because he has now arrived to this camp, and he is, look at him, he is fucking massive. Like, this guy, I can't believe he's a Steeler. I never would have thought that we would get DK Metcalf, honestly. Like, this was like such a random, I forget the day it happened, but it was just so random. Obviously, we were in talks with DK, but it was just like we were in talks with everybody. We could have got Brandon Ayuk. We could have got Devontae Adams, which maybe we'll get Devontae Adams now. I just never would have thought we would go out and get a player like DK. And I'm kind of glazing him right now. This is only one route, but it's just like, fam, we added DK Metcalf. Like, we added one of the best receivers in the league. Now, of course, his like history or whatever doesn't equate to the Aaron Rodgers move. But you take a top 15 wide receivers, like DK Metcalf is there 100% of the time. George Pickens, like I said, I wish him the best or whatever. Steelers, our offense has been mid. I get why it didn't work out with us. It's probably going to work out in Dallas. But for now, George Pickens wasn't a consensus top 15 player or top 15 wide receiver. He just wasn't. Like that, you had to argue him. You had to be a biased Steelers fan to do it. So to get DK, I'm hype about it. And the fact that he already has rapport with Aaron Rodgers, to me, just makes it even better. Just look at this guy. Like, are you guys fucking kidding me right now? He is a football player. He is a dominant athlete. And he's going to make our offense 1,000 times better simply because of the fact that he is on the team. We can Arthur Smith's playbook. It can be the same plays. It's exactly what he was going to call before DK Metcalf and after. Guarantee that the one with DK Metcalf is going to be better than the one without DK Metcalf. And I can't stop glazing the guy low key. Look at this. Here we go. We got another route right here run by DK Metcalf. And you can just see the speed. Is this Mason Rudolph throwing the ball? You can just see the speed. You can just see the way he's able to track down the ball, the size that he has. Like this, he's just an elite athlete. It is what it is. DK Metcalf is him. And I am glad he is a Pittsburgh Steelers, man. And then the last point of this, I guess the last kind of, big headline with the Steelers is we haven't re-signed TJ Watt. And I expect something to get done, but that doesn't mean I can't be upset with, how we went about handling this shit. I can be upset with how the Steelers just didn't re-sign the guy when we knew we were gonna, and two, it's TJ fucking Watt, man. Just blank check. And these 4K nerd rebuild people who are trying to, imagine a world where we trade TJ Watt and we get better. Like, it's like, no shit. If you trade a player, you'll get a lot of draft picks. But that means you got to hit on these draft picks. What have the Steelers not done in a little while with these first-round picks? We don't be hitting, man. Like, no offense to Troy, no offense to Broderick, but Najee Harris is no longer on the team. Kenny Pickett is no longer on the team. We've just had some whiffs with that first-round pick. We don't have a single first-round pick besides TJ Watt on the team currently that we drafted. Like, this is what I'm talking about. And we're supposed to trade one of the best players in the NFL for the potential to draft? Like, that to me makes no sense. Write him a blank check. This playoff thing that, he doesn't get, plays, or he doesn't get the production that he gets in the playoffs when he gets in the early regular season. Fam, we are consistently a horrible ass offense. Like, it is explainable why TJ Watt runs out of gas. We are playing him 92 million plays a year, man. We are look at Cameron Hayward. The same thing happens to him. You look, the effort is there. Like, you see Cam fucking running 90 yards down the field trying to tackle a guy because nobody else is doing it. Like, we see this consistently happen in the late part of the season. These guys get tired. It is what it is. Our facilities are fucking graded F-. We have the worst weights in the league. We have the worst lockers in the league. We have just the worst shit that the players think, they voted on it. We have the worst shit, and it's like, man, why is TJ Watt so tired? Why is Cam Hayward so tired? That's something that'll never change, but you can't use that as a reason to not, give out these contracts. Fam, none of us have played good to end the season. We should be giving nobody a contract if this is the argument, because we always collapse at the end of the season talking about TJ Watt doesn't get stats at the end of the season. Fam, we are like 0-10 in our last playoff games. We don't be doing shit past week week 14. So to use that against TJ and not hold that same standard with any of these other players on the Steelers who we've re-signed, to me is crazy. It's TJ fucking Watt. He is on Aaron Rodgers level, low key. TJ Watt is literally a Aaron Rodgers like defensive player for the NFL's history, and we have him on the team, and all we got to do is just make him the highest paid whatever the fuck he is, the highest paid edge, the highest paid defensive player. Give him the and he's earned it. He has literally earned it. He has done it. He has sold the jerseys. He has put up the stats. He's broke the records. He has won the awards. Like, he's literally earned it. There can be no other player as good as TJ Watt, in my opinion. Literally, there can be no other player coming up for contract besides winning a quarterback winning a Super Bowl recently. There is no other player that can come up, ask for a contract at the highest paid at his position, and earns it more than TJ Watt. To me, just makes no fucking sense in the world how we haven't gotten this deal done. But I anticipate we will get this deal done because we're not just going to get rid of TJ. We're not going to trade the guy. So with all that said, I think I am going to get out of here, though. I got a little passionate there at the end. This video has kind of been all over the place as well. I'm recording this at 1 in the morning. I'm waiting, late night audience. I appreciate you guys, but I am going to wait to post this until the morning or daytime. So I appreciate if you guys, went through, watched this whole thing. If you guys are excited about the Steelers, if you'd like to support me more as well, the membership button is down in the description below. I love doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. I love the Steelers. And I'm going to see you guys when we win the Super Bowl, man. And with all that said, I am going to get out of here, guys. So once again, thank you. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. This has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.